Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Ballet International. I'm not going to be too long today. I wish to present you a beautiful video. It's very interesting, and I think that many of you will like it. In this video, you will see Raymond Franchetti, who was one of the greatest ballet teacher, ballet master at the Opera House of Paris. And the video is divided in 4 parts. Now, the first 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, is very technical because he explained how to start the warm-up at the bar and then how to proceed in the center work. And many of you will recognize the old type of technique, and which was a very good type of technique and type of class, and without too many injuries, without too much effort, you still had to work very hard. And this type of work made and produced great dancers. In the third part of the video, you will see Raymond Franchetti with Brigitte Lefevre, who has also been artistic director of the Opera of Paris. And it's a very short part of the video, but they highlight some ideas, some points of the class and how is the training of ballet dancers. Finally, at the last part of the video, you shall see Raymond Franchetti speaking with Claude Bessy. And this also, it's a beautiful part of the video. So I have been able to translate the video, the voice, because the original video is in French. And that was made by, I think, the French television and was broadcasted. Now, thanks to the modern technology with AI and artificial intelligence, I have been able to translate that into English with the voices. Of course, it's not the real voice of the people, but however, you understand. And I made this on purpose in order that many students, many young dancers, and also professional dancers might enjoy to listen how was ballet at the Opera of Paris. I'm not talking so much far back in the time, but it was something like 50, 60, maybe 70 years ago. It's not 2 centuries or 3 centuries ago. So just you turn the page of the time and you will find how people used to work at that time. So the aim of this video is to highlight the beauty of the art of ballet, the type of work, the type of style, and in order that we may understand the difference of the technique of today and the technique of the past time. Said that, I wish to thank you all for the watching this short video presentation that I made, and also the new part that you will see. So, see you until next time. Thank you.
To begin with the folds. When you work a plie, you bend but you have to work the opposite. That is to say, you have to climb on a plie, but you have to do the opposite movement with the top to already work the extension, which is an important thing for the dancer. I always start at the second, many start at the first, because the second position is the position that opens the most. Then there is the first position that already starts to work the joints a little bit. And then there's the fourth position. From there we move into the fourth. Well, the third position in dance is practically not, we hardly use it. At the bar. Change. So it works the joints, it works the ankles, knees, hips, supporting the back. This serves as a comprehensive warm-up exercise. Let's say that the dancer is cold, that he has not warmed up before. He's wrong, but with the folded already, he starts to get going. For example, we could not start with beats, because beats are exercises that are at the end of the bar, that we are already warmed up to do beats. It's kind of like a massage, you know? After that, we start working on the tense beats, the small exercises at the bottom for the feet. Then after we work, we start doing leg rounds, rotation of the rounds. If you want, it's like a massage. We start from the bottom and end up. Exactly, that's the essence of the bar. It requires control because, for example, to work the bar, it is good to work in front of the bar. We correct ourselves in the ice. It's advantageous to work in profile to identify and address the flaws. Then also, it's very good to work without eyes, is that you have to do all three. Because when you work without eyes, you have to control yourself a lot more. When you're in front of you, you can correct yourself easily. But when you're without eyes, you correct yourself in your head much more. When you're at the helm, you have to have your hip above your toe and your shoulder above your hip. That's the support leg, which is essential. It becomes automatic. There are sensations, but it is an automatism that is acquired from a very young age. Afterwards, you feel your body, you feel your back muscles, you feel everything you do. And the problem, for example, in children, and this is important for dancers too, is to dissociate the legs and the arms. That is to say, take the strength in your legs thoroughly, have your arms completely relaxed. And it's hard to teach kids that, for example. Well, after all, the dancers, they have the job, but there are still those who take their strength in their arms, in their... But on the other hand, you have to take the strength in your back, you have to tuck in your belly, have this back hold, which is very, very important. Front one, folded, two. Arabesque. So you see this second exercise. So you work the feet, you work the ankles, all the half bend, all those things, that's all the footwork, lower joints. This, you see, is really the opera school, because in many schools we don't work on the small battery, for example. It is a thing that is lost. But the opera, we kept that. One withdrawn in the past folded, three positioned in the air with a tense beat, and two followed gracefully. Second changed. The third exercise remains primarily the same in principle, differing only by being performed at half height, specifically at a 45-degree angle. What dancers refer to as height at the bar correlates directly with the hips positioning, emphasizing their vertical alignment. Half height is 45 degrees. The height is the height of the hips. Then the great height in time was the shoulders. But now the dancers, they go much higher than the shoulders. You see all the bottom work, all the footwork, picking them up, ironing them in the fifth hands, all the groundwork with the feet, all the gliding of the heels and pushing on the kicks. It's a complete job. It's really for the ankles, for the feet that. This is to prepare. I tell you, we start the warm-up practically from the bottom to finish at the top. Besides, you will see the exercise that follows, it begins the first rotations of the hips. Who are the rodents on the ground? Fluidity in motions of 1, 2, leading into the fifth, now with rhythmic grace. There you have the first rotations you see. This is what we call rodents on the ground. When you do these rotations, you don't have to move your hips. It's the whole hip joint that works. But if you start offsetting one side or the other, at that point it's no use. You see, it's clearly bent out of shape, showcasing the distortion. You can observe the movement clearly. The legs are attempting to climb, initiating a fascinating progression. Because now the legs were not raised. There we started to raise the legs. And immediately behind that, because there is already a concentration, there is a relaxation exercise. At the end of that exercise, melt it. The back always works because the dancer always has to hold his back. You see, there is a balance in the end. All these dancers started very young with very good teachers, and then they were gifted. So we explain that, explain how to do, how to feel, hold your back, do this, hold your arms, watch your hand, watch your arms, give back your thumb. It is repeated by the teachers, and I tell you, it becomes automatisms. Because after, when you're on stage and you dance, when you dance in a ballet, you don't think about all that anymore. There's the choreography, you do the choreography. You don't think about all that anymore, but that's essential. If we don't do that, a dancer in 2 years, he's done, it's over. Split 1, bend 2, switch in front of 3, elevate the foot higher in a graceful motion, lower the tip back gently, fold at 6, rise elegantly, strike and return to fold. Second step, an additional movement, followed by second pose, ascending with control. Lower the tip and fall. Lifted gracefully, stricken precisely, and followed by repetitive bends, flowing counts of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, transitioning to 6. Lifted, struck, folded in succession, second pose folded, another second raise, tip drop fluidly, balanced in transitions to fifth position, encroaching half point, emerging into a poised crown positioning. 5 times, everything. Let's pursue this intricate fifth position sequence gracefully, transitioning through 1, front heights with refined adjustments. 1, bent, 2. You see now we arrive at the exercise of fades, which is very important. So there we bend on one leg, we go deep and then tense and then the lifts. There, what it already prepares are the exercises they prepare for the jump. Away off my arm. This is the last time. Go up half point. Even for the very best dancers, this is an essential morning ritual. The bar is not only pivotal during every class, but throughout a dancer's entire life. Furthermore, when dancing ends, it's the absence of the bar that is most deeply felt. You may not know what the bar is missing, as one needs the bar. because you don't feel your body like before, you don't feel that anymore, and the bar is essential. Normally you can feel all your muscles. A dancer, he feels everything he does. Don't lean on your arm. Don't lean on your arm. This behavior persists often. For instance, pressing the heel causes the knees to draw inward, creating improper alignment. It's this push on the heel. You always have to go to the end of your legs. And then the footwork outside. Because to lower its tip outward, you have to pull on the little finger on the little toe. Stay on the leg. It is the suffering of death. Because it's hard. Some days it goes on its own, but some days it's hard. Not after these first exercises yet, but little by little, it becomes more and more. When the exercises start to climb from the leg circles, all this there, it becomes hard there. Besides, we will see later. 1, 2. 1, 2. Following this, exercises are introduced to start training for speed and to better prepare for the intricate demands of the battery. You see that? Start with the little round legs at the bottom. The small battery is the exercise that begins to prepare for the battery. All of this, of course, goes much faster. And on the half tips, and behind folded. Same riding on the half peaks, it's not easy. You have to be on the tip of the foot. The heel must be slightly forward. It must not fall on the little finger there. Because after the pirouettes, if you do pirouettes, and if it falls on the little finger you tip over, it doesn't hold. And the strength is on the big toe, the strength. Then you have the legs in the air, so there it goes up. That's the round legs in the air. Consider the knee articulation. It's a move inspired by a Rico exercise, which I decided to incorporate for clarity. And demi-tip. This is Rico again. Now, when balancing on half toe using a technique often known as the double leg toe stance, it works to achieve rapid transitions with the foot in hand. Here you also achieve an element of loosening, often described as the foot in hand motion, a method for precision and alignment. Observe how this leads to the intentional opening of the legs into specific positions now. We're working on getting our legs up now. There is the same relaxation attitude. We are starting to get into the big positions. The big beats. So 3 beats ahead and fifth, 1 and 2 and 2 followed. Arabesque and fifth and second followed. Expand the second movement, create a shortcut for the second, perform 3 beats and follow with the second while allowing a pause for timing. Afterward, we begin after 1, 2 and another 2 movements that are followed seamlessly. Positioned ahead of 5 and 6 with 2 movements flowing consecutively, the sequence is developed smoothly and shortened where necessary, repeating second movements while pausing briefly. At this stage, we focus on leg climbs, enhancing flexibility alongside improved leg coordination. There you go. So we change leg. This is to work the support points at the same time. Right leg, left leg, we switch legs. You see the legs there? It goes up there. The back is hot now, the back is hot. Are you okay? Come on. So we begin the adage, exploring meaningful movements and key positions, gradually lifting the legs to engage. And she is placed. That's the developed fourth position, followed by the seconds, aligning each step with precision. This movement is known as the round leg outside, a grand action in dance, showcasing essential positions and harmonious flow. All major positions. The fourth is the leg in front, the second is the leg on the side, the rebate. It is the leg behind extended attitude, it is the bent leg, but you have attitude in front also with the bent leg. There are plenty of, but let's just say these are the big positions. That changes every day, the adage changes every day. The dancer doesn't have to get used to it either. Years of dedication are required before mastering these intricate motions. There you go. And to finish the bar, 2 times 8, back down pass pointed, back down in front pass pointed, rounded closed, fifth behind, and 2 seconds. After the adage, behind pass point. A holding position, the adage, rounded and closed, fifth. These are substantial beats echoing an adage. Even then, the rhythm gently transitions, reactivating the legs. There now, they are completely hot. You see the legs go up on their own. There they can force. If a dancer attempts such an exercise right at the start of practice while still cold, there's a risk of injury. These types of exercises are crucial to perform only when the body is sufficiently warmed up. Anyway, I change my bar every day, because before we always did the same bar with the same music, and for years and years. But there it is necessary because the dancer at that moment no longer concentrates. However, even when there are changes, simplicity is key. Exercises shouldn't involve unnecessary complexity. The dancer must grasp them instinctively without overthinking. You need to understand the exercise before you start it. Therefore, simple exercises must be done so that the dancer can perform practically to perfection. Otherwise, if it's too complicated, the dancers are lost, they look everywhere, and it's no use. Fifth position, in front of 1, bent, 2, behind 3, bent, 4 and gnawing, fall asleep, and 2 hip beats. Are you okay? At the helm, let's say, it's about 10 exercises. Moving into the middle, essentially repeating nearly the first bar exercises, do you notice? Following 2 faces upward in the air, along with movements of 1 and 2. Continuing with 3, then followed by 5 and 6. Movements proceed with 3 repeating, followed forward and backward, in front, then again 3. People often ask why I reverse movements. As the backward motion leads outward, observe the leg circle motion, moving 1, 2, 3, 4. Movements backward expand outward, whereas heading downward curves inward. Come on, one. Behind change. Partially repeating the first movements, the pattern incorporates leg rounds in revisions. But here it is to work on the balance at the exit of the bar. This is to prepare the environment. But the dancers are naturally hot there. All of this represents a significant progression in development. Same progression as at the bar is different from the bar, but... And you see this exercise that looks like nothing. They make it easy. But for me, for example, with my age, when I show this exercise, I find it difficult to do it. And it's an easy exercise because it's an exercise of balance and fulcrum, change of fulcrum. And the dancers don't realize that, but it's very useful to them. But when they're that young, they don't realize it. Additionally, there's the adage that transitions through various prominent dance positions. Then, the adage continues to the 5th position, a classic crusader. Lift the tip, 1 movement, the head aligns. Circular leg motion combines with the 4th posture while folded. And piqué, you see how the legs rise, it works at the same time, balance and great positions. The arabesques.
Whipping?
Whipping arabesque. Whipping arabesque. There you go. It becomes more complex, naturally.
Left?
And above all, already the landmarks are no longer the same. Me, when I show this exercise, I look at the floor because it balances me. But dancers, they're not allowed to keep any on the floor. Because on stage, a dancer who keeps on the floor, it shows. So the dancer, he feels his balance, he feels it, the balance, he does not see it. It's like music. A dancer, he doesn't hear the music, he feels the music. These experiences evoke various sensations. Thus, we commence the exploration of retentions. We constantly observe and strive, initiating from the very beginning. A simple little pirouette.
Develop your gondola.
First, the simple things. Let's say that the next day we can balance without turning. That's the same, it varies every day. The adage, same. You see, preparation for the tricks, it gets complicated. 2 pirouettes. There you go, pirouettes. The pirouettes, that's the hardest part because it has everything. One must expertly manage balance, rotation, external focus, head positioning, back alignment, and abdominal engagement, a comprehensive challenge. That's the hardest part. You see there, for example, it's just based on pirouettes. As you approach the second turn, it involves an intricate choreography of external rotations combined with intricate crown-related maneuvers. Expand second, 2, 3. Elevated precision and rhythmic mastery are required as you whip, and skillfully adjust intricate movements with finesse.
What I keep from your teaching in particular is a very nice pirouette quality. I saw a lot of dancers doing 6, 7 pirouettes in your class. So what did that come from? Is this the preparatory work?
The exercises I do a lot of tricks, you saw it. I have an exercise to place a pirouette step and a turn step. And that's the big step of the tour, especially that he doesn't have to turn. Small jump. Come on, you girls start. Next, we need to gear up for the leaps. I'll take you off, slip to the assembly, change me. I'll take you off, you got feet that push, slip to the assembly. Back there, we prepare the jumps, the big jumps. The big jumps, the battery. Starting big leaps necessitates foundational exercises like these. You have to prepare your feet, you have to prepare your legs.
The rhythmic sequences are a core aspect of our school teachings.
It's part of our school, we should never let it go.
Saïs Dongtie's notable assembly sequences seem to be mastered in entirety.
Les Brigitte et les Mac is a ballet created by Gardel in 1789. It's a ballet, and then this exercise stayed.
The reason remains unknown.
Cat. Broken?
Broken, stopped, broken, broken, stolen, broken, stolen. Toss it. In principle, it makes the speed work. Then it starts to make the sound work. It starts to do all the developed, all the pushing of the legs, work the outside. It's the drum exercise that we find in ballets. Notably, both French and Italian schools incorporate numerous intricate small batteries. After that, you proceed to large jumps. There they are over there, encompassing convertible and thrown bags, along with carabesques, and you will witness everything tossed away with fluid motion. I am able to assemble in the upcoming 6 parts. It is the girls who do the same jump step. Naturally, the dancers jump much less. It's the same school for boys and girls. Next check. The introduction of the girls happens at 6 o'clock.
In technique too, there are extraordinary things that I have never seen in other teachers. It is the great technique of jumping in boys.
The most important thing for me was that I was diving. I did diving competitions for a long time. I know the technique in the air, the way to place yourself in the air. I see how things are going wrong. There are support points in the air, things like that. There, in principle now, the boys do tricks in the air. Currently, they initiate with double rotations, but also engage in exercises involving single rotations. Many drills are available to prepare for aerial rotations.
Counting aloud. 1, 2, 7, and 8 marks the rhythm.
It's perfect. They're perfect. There's nothing to do. Typically for the boys, you employ a preparatory tower exercise followed by an advanced tower activity for better skill building. Great technique, which is practically at the end of the course. So there, in principle, we do great technique in the air.
Hunting.
Double base jump, peak, swiftly rotate while launching movements. But it's the same. It changes every day. You have the big battery, the last exercise to finish?
Go on. Okay, let's continue. Does it come to this moment where you'll say "Oet" with excitement? And yet.
So thank you, boys.
And then there is also one thing that always fascinates me about male professors. It is cutting-edge work. Is it something that you have not felt?
When you have a mixed boys and girls class, the girls, after the jump step, they put their point. We can progress onward without detours. Fourth, first simple exercises first, not too complicated, which change every day also elsewhere. For follow-ups, second.
Pull back step.
The same scenario lies ahead. Breakaway fourth position, breakaway into the second, and once again breakaway into the fourth. Not everything. Breakaway followed, 2 change breakaways followed.
Pull forward.
Remove. The names I just gave you, you're going to New York, you're going to Moscow, you're going to Stockholm, you're going to London. They're exactly the same names. Remove. I was stunned. And you do it again. That's good. However, all these exercises and positions are common across every ballet performance. We have to prepare the ballets, we have to prepare the choreographers. That's why, so that the classes are still simple, that the choreographer can embroider. For example, you can Balanchine, who will do this to you, but interpreted in another way, people instantly understand each other. Developed. There you have the big steps on point, you see. Developed fourth, raised whip arabesque, round cut of upside down leg, no buoy, peak attitude, second whip attitude. Already, that's already more difficult, that. I see her diverting him.
And indeed, that's exactly how it is.
Agnes performs an arabesque whip. You recall the arabesques we practiced at the bar, as well as those we did midway. The adage, everything is there now, attitude seconds. This is it, this is the end. Their arms differ significantly, which is why I believe she excelled in her exams. Her skills stand out.
What were you doing? You were preparing your class the day before, or it's one thing after that you could work?
I have worked, I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of notes that I would give to the opera, by the way. Especially my notebooks that I would give to the opera. I've constructed nearly 100 full courses, all meticulously designed and prepared.
With the bar that corresponds to the middle?
And the bar that corresponds to the middle, everything. I would give that to the opera, but I couldn't do without the dance. If I ever stop, I'd wish to meet my end in a dance studio instantly. Clack, hop, no clear goal. But what a grand life, and what a glorious finale. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Expand fourth crusader divert attitude. Non ennemi. 1, 2, 3, 4, piqué attitude. Take a walk, focus on the second step, and ensure my sustained fifth positions are refined. Through music, we gain insights. This moment stuck with me thanks to my teacher, Rico. One day I was doing that and I was interested. The history of dance has always interested me. He remarked, "Observe, that's a saying attributed to Vestris," and I never inquired about his mentor. But someone taught him. Take me in. Count again. 1, 2, 3, then peak 5, 6, and hold steady. Walk gracefully, one step at a time. 4 lying behind 5 and 5th, simply attitude against leg and 5th. Then it was also done in arabesque, crown and arabesque. The first thing in dance, is she in attitude or is she in arabesque? It's all about attitude. There, it's all about attitude. But the exercise exists the same thing, but all in arabesque, when done at altitude, 2nd and 5th. We're performing solely on one side, counting 1, 2 steps. Make sure it's not excessive. Count 1, then 2. And 3. Take that up. Develop 4th Crusader. 2. Divert.
So is there a recipe to make a dancer understand that a class is obviously to warm up, it is to prepare for the rehearsals and the dancer's day, but it is also to continue to progress?
The class is a significant journey toward progress. It begins with warm-ups, setting the stage for learning and growth, but ultimately a class is distinct and unique in its essence. You need to reflect on yourself daily, pushing forward, even through exhaustion, much like when you step onto a boat, weary but determined to persevere. What struggle with your body, with yourself? What struggle?
Do we talk enough at that moment about the pleasure that it is also? That is like once when you leave class.
We are well after a bar. Is that normal?
Yes, but a course is not just steps. It means that another person can do exactly the same progression, exactly the same exercises at the helm and the same sequences in the middle, and the course will not be the same. So there remains the art of the pedagogue. How would you define the Franchetti style?
For me, it's simplicity. I retained Rico's essence, not every exercise, but the core progression that defines the learning journey.
So is teaching something you learn through experience alone, or do you see it as an art that must also be passed down with thoughtful mentorship and structured support?
It's a gift too. It's a gift too, as a choreographer, it's a gift too. Our old class,
The old one is well redone, the painting. I remembered it with holes everywhere and chipped paint scattered across its walls.
On the edges, etc. But the bars are the same, you know?
Yes, surely, but it is still missing the same bar that is there. She was absent, someone I never encountered during my school days. Her absence was felt then and will always be felt. I did have a teacher, Miss Rouvier, though. She was remarkable, clothed in a distinguished frock coat that left an impression. An elegant ribbon adorned her hair in blonde curls, complemented by lovely buttoned boots. She gave her lesson with the buttoned boots and then her cane. Our time with Mademoiselle Rouvier spanned 3 impactful years during war times when exams were non-existent, offering a unique learning experience. I was in the older ones at the time. You teach them the positions. I must say that I started various dancers already at the time.
I also learned that way from Rico, Pigalle, and Fenangeois, who cared for me. Rico told him, "You take care of him," we followed behind.
Still, it's definitely evolved. Nowadays, we no longer adhere to the practices we once followed. That is to say, we had to get by.
You had to be very good.
You had to be good to be in front, because if you weren't good, you were told, okay, go behind.
I think that there was a great reflection on the part of all the dancers of our time who have become teachers today and who have, I say, suffered. It was me. I know that I suffered from the way we were directed, the way we were made to work. No, we had to stand up.
The sole expectation was completing 2 rounds. Now we emphasize placement, posture, expression and alignment, every detail that shapes a dancer's form, which has become crucial today.
When you see the photos of the former dancers,
Even me, when I look at my photos, I say to myself, oh, that's not exactly that.
you're not too much of a demon, you. I'm not a demon. Claude, there are so many of them. Dancers who are outdated.
But that being said, what is important is that each class that still exists today had its teacher, its work, so that there is progression. I believe that this is also one of the reasons why the Corps de Ballet de l'Opéra remains with such an important level. Because the work, the pedagogy that is done inside the school and that is continued inside the ballet makes continuity very important in the examination.
The test and the result is here.
What a dancer. It's the first ballet company in the world. Maybe I'm a little chauvinistic, let's say, but anyway.
We have great dancers, boys and girls.
Especially thanks to you. If you didn't have a school like that, wouldn't work. I see in the big theaters elsewhere, it has dropped drastically. When there is no school, there are no dancers.
We did a good job, Raymond.